ActionFigureResource.com.
This is a top 10 countdown of our favourite Mattel action figures for Action Figure Resource. At number 10, it's Barbie and Ken from Toy Story 3. This is mainly down to how willing Mattel were to have Pixar send up Ken's image in the movie and make him such an excitable fashionista. At number 9, from 1987, Filmation's Brave Star. These toys were in a larger scale than usual, colourful and detailed with some interesting action features that were unmistakably 80s. Marshall Bravestar could strap on a backpack and have invisible infrared laser fights with his nemesis, Tex Hex. At number 8, from 2002's third dynasty of the Masters of the Universe comes Trapjaw. Sculpted by the Four Horsemen, who really went overboard to accentuate his massive cybernetic arm with its array of wicked attachments, this was truly a case of building on a great, fun, simple original figure and making it totally badass. At number 7, speaking of badass, it's Night Owl 2 from Watchmen. There were DC Direct figures based on the movie incarnations, but for comic book purists, this collector-focused line recreated the original artwork of Dave Gibbons from the seminal graphic novel. At number 6, Green Lantern Classics Hal Jordan. Now, there have been dozens of figures of this guy made over the years, but this captures everything heroic and statuesque about his comic book persona and makes an exemplary addition to the DC Universe Classics line with an amazing sculpt and clever body-contoured articulation. At number 5, Avatar Aang from the Last Airbender TV series, primarily for its rarity. Virtually no toys were made in conjunction with this stunning animated show beyond the first season. And thanks to the long lead times on toy manufacture, Mattel didn't yet have a handle on the characters. It thus stands as what might have been the first of a long-running line of faithfully recreated Airbender toys. If Mattel are watching, Legend of Korra figures for Matty Collector, we implore you. At number 4, it's Beastman from the Masters of the Universe Classics line. One of the first produced figures, this one beats out the competition, and there is a lot of competition because they pretty much recreated every single one of them, with a concentrated nostalgia factor, not simply because it looks and feels like the early Beastman figure, but because it renders into 3 dimensions the striking art on the back of the original boxes. At number 3, Egon Spengler from the Ghostbusters line, both harkening back to the mid-80s Kenner versions of the real Ghostbusters and faithfully recreating Harold Ramis, as he appeared in the 1984 movie so close to so many of our hearts. Egon even comes with a PKE meter and an enormous pile of books that no human would ever stack. At number 2, not even an action figure, but a toy that commemorates the silliest and worst endeavours into home video gaming, the Nintendo Power Glove. Designed like a prehistoric Wii controller and implemented in such a way that it makes the few compatible games unplayable ordeals. This is one of those brilliant ideas that when it became apparent after all the R&D that it just plain didn't work, should have been scrapped. It's at number 2 here because they pressed on and released it anyway. As Lucas in The Wizard said, without a shred of irony, it's so bad. And finally at number 1, a prop replica of a device that next to a real working lightsaber, I and pretty much every boy my age wanted more than anything in the world. The Back to the Future Part 2 hoverboard. Lovingly recreated by the folks at Matty Collector and just waiting for some budding young Emmett Brown to invent a way to make it really float. This was available for a brief time at a high price and would make any wall it decorates look 1.21 gigawatts worth of awesome. We hope you liked this countdown. Be sure to tell us in the comments any figures you'd want on this list and any future lists you'd like making. And come on over to ActionFigureResource.com for the history of Mattel and dozens of other informative and entertaining collecting guides.